Hey guys, welcome to our review of Rock's latest film, Jungle Cruise, which is on Disney Plus. Sort of a big budget film on Disney Plus. But first, let's get to a word from our sponsors. So if you're going on that exploration through the jungles of the internet, you're going to need a VPN. That's right, guys. It's Surfshark. Alex, tell them, why do we work with Surfshark? There's so many VPNs to choose from.
Well, the summer blockbusters are here, right? And so Hulu and Netflix and HBO Max and all of these places, they geo-block all of the movies, right? Sometimes you get, all the good movies are in Netflix EU, and if you're in EU, they're in the United States or in Latin America. And Surfshark unlocks that.
And on top of that, you get unlimited devices, so I could take my terrible movies on the go. Unlimited supply of terrible movies for this guy.
Yeah, and he can just share our account.
Yeah.
We've compared it to other similar services. Surfshark is the one for us. I think it should be the one for you too, if you're going to choose a VPN to protect your privacy and to unlock all the content that you would like access to. Right now, we've got a deal. It's 83% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free at surfshark.deals/AngryJoe show. So, guys, if you do that makes it only like $2.21 a month.
$2.
That's worth it just to have a backup. That's like less than the price of a rental. So you do a single movie, it's already paid for itself, guys. Thank you so much. Consider Surfshark. Click those links and enjoy the review. Thank you to Surfshark. Let's jump right into the review, guys. So it's The Rock. Everybody loves The Rock. He's super charismatic. I mean, everybody says that about The Rock. This is a movie based on the Jungle Cruise ride at Disneyland.
I actually went.
Yeah, I went too.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I've been on that ride 200 times.
Yeah, it's a great ride. It's one of the classics. I mean, it's not going to be no roller coaster or anything like that.
But the thing that gets me is the puns.
Yes.
The puns. Yeah, so basically I didn't really expect much from this film at all, honestly. Based on a ride from a theme park, those don't usually go well unless you're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. That went well.
Once.
This one is, this one, they go full ham. I mean, they take this into ridiculous, stupid, crazy, magical territory that's honestly, but I think they know it, right? They are kind of going with it. It's stupid, but kind of in a good way, the stupid fun. And honestly, it reminded me a lot of Brendan Fraser's Mummy movies.
The Mummy, Indiana Jones, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Indiana Jones, like you said. Yeah, so if you like all those things, I think you're actually going to like Jungle Cruise. It pleasantly was surprising. Now, it has some problems, especially in the third act. Maybe a little too much CGI. A lot of CGI towards the end. But I think it just had really good pacing. It was entertaining. It had some good humor too. Like you said, there's some puns in this
that's the only reason why I like it.
Quite good. Dad jokes. So I actually liked Jungle Cruise. What did you guys think?
I think this was an average film for me. I did enjoy it. It's better than what I expected, but I wish it was a little bit more. It just felt like kind of like a copy and paste. And like once Alex told me, he was like, "Oh, this is Jonathan from the Mummy." I could not unsee that. I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. Same mannerisms, same everything. But, I thought it was
a little too derivative overall for you.
It's like, hey, let's just grab some stuff that we like and just throw it in there.
Yeah, I think that the writing for this movie was... The writers had the easiest job in the whole world. It's like, hey, Mom, can we watch The Mummy? It's like, no, we got The Mummy at home, and that's what this is. Because... I like the movie though. I think I liked it a little bit better than you did. I think The Mummy, as far as like campy adventure films, is like a 10 out of 10. And this is trying to copy The Mummy as closely as it possibly can. And I think they did a pretty good job. They went over the top with too many things. I think that the runtime felt a little long. Like there was parts where it dragged in the center of the movie where just nothing's happening, and there were some unnecessary scenes. So it wasn't as tight as like something as like The Mummy 1. But I think this was a pretty enjoyable adventure film. Very stupid, but it's enjoyable.
Stupid, pulpy, adventure, kind of a throwback to the old blockbusters. I mean, we don't really have those anymore because of the pandemic and all that stuff. This one was actually delayed as well, and so it's got Disney put on Disney Plus. But overall, good performances, good acting. Funny villain, funny situations that are like purposefully ridiculous. You've got, yeah. I don't want to say too much to spoil it because this thing has a little more twists and turns than I was expecting. It kept me entertained, really good pace, and overall, just a fun and family-friendly movie. There's some little bit of scary scenes, maybe for your super young children, but family friendly, definitely. Yeah,
You'll
they'll be
be
fine. Yeah, so like if you like Conquistadors and Mummy and those kinds of films, you'll love this one. So let's just go to final verdict, so we could jump right into the spoiler section.
For me, it's gonna be a 5. I did enjoy it. It was an average film, but I wanted more of the puzzles, like kind of like Indiana Jones does. Like it's like, all right, we solved this riddle. Now there's another one. This is like, oh, we kind of know what's gonna happen. He's like, all right, we gotta go talk to this person, and the mystery solved. I was like, that's it. I wanted more, I guess, exploration or something besides just kind of like the middle, because they're trying to do the chemistry between
Yeah, they
Emily
were really
Blunt
trying to-
and The Rock. They're trying to force that in your face. What I felt like in the middle sections.
And how did you feel about that chemistry?
It was okay. That's why I'd rather see more of the exploration or find the maps or try to do something else with it. But it's a 5. Still a good watch.
Like I said, I liked it a little bit better than you did. I think that it did a lot of things pretty okay, and I don't think it did anything actually very well. There was some humor, and like if you've been on Jungle Cruise a bunch, everything that you've ever heard in Jungle Cruise is in this movie,
Yes.
and it still is corny and funny as it was.
Corny. It's super corny.
It's very corny.
But it knows it's corny.
Yeah, it does. The action, the writing, the dialogue. I think actually the dialogue is pretty tight. The puzzles totally not there. Does this actually make sense? No, none of that makes sense. It's kind of crazy for crazy's sake, which is why it doesn't go into for me the 7, 8, or 9. But like I said, I was kind of in the mood for a fun little adventure movie. So I think this is an above average watch. It's so much. If you have got kids and you want to see a movie with them, don't ever watch Space Jam and watch this one instead.
Yes.
So this one, I don't think is as
100%
good
agree with that.
as Jumanji. Like Jumanji was one that genuinely surprised the shit out of me because my expectations were low. And same thing here, but again, like kind of Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt, everyone involved kind of won me over. So I'm gonna give it above average 6 out of 10.
Yeah, Jumanji was like a 9/10. It was a great film. I really enjoyed it. I think it's better than some of the recent big budget
stuff.
Disney stuff, like I don't know, Artemis Fowl, Tomorrowland, just some weird, just weird Disney films that they tried to, do some stuff. It's a good stopgap, good filler in between, your pirates based on a ride. It actually was a lot better than I thought it would be. That it would be limited and restricted and a little bit boring. I think because of the performances of Emily Blunt, The Rock, and actually the villain. I don't remember this guy's name, but I really Jack Whitehall I liked him as the over the top cartoon villain.
Faux Jonathan.
So basically, I think I fall at about a 7 out of 10. I think that's probably about as high as you can give it. And just because I really like the adventure, I like these types of mummy adventure films, and I thought, well, we ain't never seen Brendan Fraser again.
Bring him back.
Money. I know. I really want him back.
Bring him back.
I want these types of films back.
Yeah.
Fucking Disney or WB or whatever, getting rid of Johnny Depp, but yet keeping his crazy girlfriend.
Oh, Amber Heard.
Amber Heard, right? That's a fucking shame that he lost his job. So I don't know if we'll ever see Pirates again. So something to kind of
downhill.
replace this. This was fun, but throwaway, a complete story. I don't think we'll get a sequel for Jungle Cruise, but I thought it was a self-contained story. A little too much CGI at the end, and I'm not so sure about The Rock's romantic acting, right? So I think that those kind of take away too much CGI, a little romantic acting, and then you guys are super right. It's super derivative. Like it's very predictable, but it was still a fun journey on the way. So 7 out of 10.
Wanted more Journey.
Yeah, let's go to. But that's your criticism for all the movies. I wanted more.
No.
Yeah, but like you can tell, like if you're copying the Mummy, we're going to judge you by how you copied the Mummy, and you didn't do a very good job. If you're copying Indiana Jones,
well, I don't think they're copying the Mummy. They obviously have their own story to tell.
Oh,
they're
it was
not
100%.
redo the Mummy.
She was
It's
Evie.
Jungle Cruise.
She had a brother, Jonathan. They're looking for the grimy
Comedy
guy to take it
yeah.
through. It's
well,
like,
how would you have done the comedy relief so that you wouldn't have comparisons to
More
the
puns.
Mummy?
I probably wouldn't
More
have.
puns?
Yeah.
Joe,
That's what Jungle.
you know how many fucking puns are in this movie? This is a pun-filled
Yeah.
movie. This is
There's a lot of them.
I
fun
loved it. I
pun.
love
yeah.
those parts.
Do you think he's going to
You
do
want even more puns?
more ride
just
movies?
more.
We're
Okay.
going to get like Big Thunder Mountain, where The Rock
Yes.
literally plays the mountain.
Yes.
I mean, it's,
Space Mountain.
Oh,
yeah,
Watch
he's
it.
the mountain. He's the mountain in all of them because, you know.
All right, so we'll see you guys in the spoiler section. Okay, spoiler section. So, what was different from the ride that was in the film?
They're looking for this artifact that basically cures all these petals.
tree.
The tree of tears. And she
That's
wants.
not really in the ride, if I remember right.
No. She basically wants to use this to enhance her, like help the world out and use it for medicine.
Yeah.
But she's a woman in 1960 and she's
Yeah.
frowned upon.
Or the
Oh, that's
1920s.
going to piss off some segment of the YouTube men. But
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what?
people are gonna be mad.
But you know they won't fund the expedition because she's a woman.
She's a
Yeah.
woman, you know. She's brilliant. She knows all the history. She's exactly Evie from
She's
the Mummy.
the best fighter.
Yeah, so I mean, they have exactly that thing, and then
Super.
she's got a kind of a crazy younger brother who, you know,
Very eccentric.
yeah, and it's
very
She, like-
submissive, and she's dominant.
His little subplot, like they just threw that in there just because, or
Because of current times and
just like,
pro-
"Oh, okay,
progressive
well, I'm gay."
values.
Okay,
yeah, I'm
cool.
gay, and I was. No, he's there. They put it there because it's like, why is he the way that he is? And he's fiercely loyal to his sister because
Yeah.
she was basically protecting him because. He's ostracized from, probably his
Everyone,
family and
yeah.
everyone in the community because
Times are
he's
different.
gay, and back then that probably was not looked upon too kindly. So, so she realizes this thing is not going her way. These men are not going to fund her expedition. So she goes in the back and tries to break in and grab the arrowhead. And so that's when you get your whimsical Disney music, and you're getting into trouble, and she's doing all this. Stealth maneuvers and stuff, and then she escapes, and we get introduced to Prince Joachim.
Gotta say it right, he'll kill you.
Yeah, or he'll kill you. His name is revealed and kill you. So, and then they introduce the rock captain, but who's basically a Disney ride tour guide. But later on in the film, the big twist there is that, well, first off, the twist is that, he presents himself as a competent captain, and I guess he is, but at the same time, he's a swindler.
Yes,
He's
he's a con man.
Con man. He's got several cons set up throughout the tour. He's got fake things going to scare people, to give them more money, to, get through the cruise faster or protect them from the natives. He's even got a little fucking entire native village in on it. I guess he pays them on the side. At first, I thought they were all paid actors, but no, it didn't make sense if those were paid actors. It is legitimately a tribe out there, and they just have a deal that they scare people with. So, anyways, and he's got a cat. I like the cat. He uses the jungle cat to get into fights to make him seem like he's, a good fighter and will protect people on the cruise. Of course, the cat's in on it, and he feeds it, and he lives on the boat. So all that stuff comes to light, and then it's just, I think, and then they keep calling her Lady Pants or Miss Pants because she wears pants. Because back then, again, women, I guess, didn't wear a whole lot of pants. But
we're not illegal. It was illegal in a lot of places for women
really,
to wear
shit,
pants.
I didn't know it was illegal for women to wear pants. Because even the conquistadors later on, that factors into
Pantalones.
pantalones, the lady the pantalones. But so we're getting into the more magical elements later on. But Lily arrives to the jungle, and she's trying to get somebody to take her along the journey. Their paths cross, and they get into more predicaments. She can't swim. His engine is being taken. Like, this fucking shit is breakneck speed. The pace is breakneck speed here to get us into the jungle and get going. But yet the movie is long. It's a longer movie. So there's a lot to chew on here, a lot of little adventures and many things. She doesn't, so she like avoids jumping in the water to swim with the rock and instead does this whimsical thing where she's like using her jacket
go all the way across and on the
like,
dock
Jesus
just
Christ.
drop down.
And then it turns out that the guy that killed everybody, this German prince or whatever, shows up in a submarine, even though there's no way the water's that deep to handle a fucking submarine with torpedoes and machine guns on it.
But it gets better after that. Remember, the torpedo was shot.
Yeah, the torpedo, that was jumping the shark. That was literally jumping the boathouse. So then the submarine chases The Rock and Emily Blunt
with the
machine gun, and then he pulls some sick maneuvers to like. He pulls a Batman, right? With the fucking grappling hook, and he like
it turns,
but he does it with his muscles. And
you can't forget he's huge.
Fuck.
They gotta remind you he's huge.
So they fire a torpedo at him, and how does he get away from the torpedo, Joe?
Ramming speed on the ramp.
Yeah, there's a ramp in the harbor for.
Not really a ramp. It was. I didn't see the ramp. It was just a boathouse, and then all of a sudden,
there's a boathouse that turned into a ramp.
A tiny ramp that they flew up. And just as the torpedo was fast, I'm like, you know what? This is dumb as fuck, but like, all right, you're going full on. I wonder if they're gonna modify the Disney ride to then do a fucking ramp torpedo explosion.
There's a U-boat in there like chasing you.
That's gonna be fucking awesome when they update the ride. I'm telling you, dude. Anyways, so they escape. And so they've got these German guys chasing them, and they take a moment to kind of talk. This is when you get like whimsical scenes. You get these magical dolphins that if you stare in their eyes, you'll hunt you. But see, that's when the film, has no magical elements other than the over-the-top Fast and Furious type elements. But then you start to get hints.
In the Amazon.
You get these hints of this magic and stuff, and legends and tales and the Indiana Jones stuff. And so then that's kind of the point where things turn and you start to get, some cool stuff. But all throughout it, he's doing dad jokes. He's pretty sure his girlfriend was seeing someone on the side, Joe.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Don't got me.
Because she's cross-eyed.
Yeah. Like we couldn't see eye to eye.
Stuff like that. And so they're already on their way, and the Germans are kind of screwed. And then here we go full on magic. They say, okay, well, there's only one person who knows more where they're going and where they might be. He goes to the conquistadors who are trapped in like a tree because they can't stray too far from the river because they're cursed, because they basically, journey to find the flowers and these petals. So that one guy, there's a whole backstory. They do a period piece. They do, The Rock, which ties into that. And he's trying to find a cure for his daughter. Unfortunately, he gets a little too greedy with the locals, the tribe that kind of save him. And he's like, I need some of this to take to my daughter. They're like, no, we can't do it. And so then there's a big fight. They start murdering the tribes, and they get cursed. And so they're stuck in these, branches and stuff. And he basically revives them with a little bit of water. How he knows to do all this shit, no, don't worry about that. It's not explained.
Yeah.
And then he talks with some snakes. You think the guy's gonna come alive, but no, it's just snakes that come out of his stone body. And he's talking with the snakes, and that's kind of funny. But
he
I was
makes a little deal.
Yeah, makes a little deal with the snakes. But that ain't funny because later on, he's constantly doing deals with snakes. Later on, he's talking with bees, and his
his crew's like, is he taking orders from the bees?
Yeah, could you ask the bees for
Coordinates.
direct coordinates instead of just? He's like, don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous.
While he's talking to bees, don't be ridiculous. Oh yeah, so this stuff made us laugh, and it made us laugh out loud. And I'm sure, and I mean us, kind of grouches and critics, it's gonna make general audiences laugh out loud in the theater, and they're gonna have a good time. So, he wants to turn back, and trying to get them to turn back, but no, she's pushing forward because she's a strong, independent woman, and doesn't care that they're going into rapids, even though she can't swim. She has got to get this thing done in the name of science. And Basically, they eventually get captured by the natives, and these natives are cool looking, man. They got some badass masks, and they got boats, and they got everything. And they're taken in front of the tribe leader, and it's like, well, you're gonna get killed. And The Rock has been keeping an eye on her necklace the whole time, and so he kind of uses this as an opportunity to get the necklace from her. It turns out though that the tribe ladies are like on his side, and they're all actors, but they're not actors. They're actual savages. Savage over there, Joe, with your Golden Girls shirt.
Yeah, that's the only savage one.
Yeah, no, but they are totally civilized, and they like to do trades and things, and they've already got a deal set up with The Rock. So, he kind of tricks people into thinking they're savages and, like, gets money and gives them the money.
Yeah.
But in this case, they are able to, obviously Emily Blunt's character, Lily, gets real pissed off at The Rock because he's been a lie this whole time. Literally everything he does is a lie. But they do get her necklace translated, which gives them a greater idea of where actually to go to find this thing.
And here's where I thought the movie was going to be like, all right, you have to go to this place and then solve this like puzzle or like stuff like that. Just do different kinds of like little trials or whatnot. But she's like, no, it's exactly right here. Okay, let's go. I was like,
they do one little trial once they get to the location in order to figure it out, because they say you need to turn water into stone.
Yeah.
And how they do that is first off, the conquistadors, find out where they're at. They go and attack them. You've got but this is where there's a lot of CGI, but you got really creative design. So it's like, I like both, or I like one aspect of it, but it comes with the bad aspect.
Yeah.
There's like this guy that's covered in bees and honey. There's a mud guy. There's the tree guy. And then there's the leader who's like the snake person. So there's like 4 of them. And they all attack the village, and so you've got these natives fighting back, just getting their asses kicked, and it's some cool moments, some cool action, but again, fakey looking because of all the CGI. The Rock eventually, sees how important this is to Lily, and decides to kind of sacrifice himself in order to get the key back, the arrowhead key. Yeah. Throws it to her as he dies. He's stabbed, and then he's hitting multiple trees on the way down.
Like, he's dead.
He dead. He's motherfucking dead. So, yeah, and he's dead in the film. But Emily Blunt's character immediately jumps into a boat with her brother, and they cut a branch, and they fall just about the same distance into like the water, but it's like a shallow water. They would have been dead too, but okay, fine, we'll let it pass.
Hurt his ankle. He
broke his leg.
Yeah, he's like, my ankle. So there you go.
Yeah, so then they get out of there. But here's where we kind of have our big reveal. What's our big reveal?
That The Rock is actually a 400-year-old conquistador, which completely invalidates anything that just happened, because the other conquistadors know he's a conquistador and would have been talking to him, and we find out that they've killed him a bunch of times before. And
I guess they don't talk to him here.
Yeah, they don't talk to him.
For the audience's benefit.
Yeah, for the audience's benefit, and for the writers not having to think things through. He's actually ancient, and he's the one who actually drew all the maps. And ultimately, this whole movie is his fault, because he was the one who probably told everyone where the conquistadors were hiding, and that you need to give them river water so they can come back out.
Probably.
Because he's the only one with any
Look
of
at
that
this.
information.
He's fixing the movie's lore.
Yeah, it's just like, it has to be that case, because otherwise, again, this movie is really dumb. You can't think about it because it's based on a ride that's 3 minutes long.
Well, we want to go deep Jungle Cruise lore. He got drunk one day in a tavern. He was bragging about there, boom.
Yeah, and then he told
that's
everybody.
That's how the legend. Ooh, I like this film even more
he told it to a German guy, and the German guy then wrote a bunch of books on it. And so that's what the thing is. So he's immortal. As long as he's by the river, he's Alan Quartermain. As long as you're in Africa will not let you die, and that's kind of the river thing.
Yeah. They take a little too long on the scene where she finds him, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're still alive!" And he's got a knife in him, and they're like, "Oh, you got a knife."
Well, they had to make a butt fucking joke and a sex joke and a jerk off joke.
They had to do a lot of jokes right there on this knife. It didn't work.
I don't know if you want my stick in your mouth.
Did you?
Did you want my
Like,
sticky
Go
note?
slow. I'll come around the back.
You're gonna need 2 hands,
We'll
and
come-
then it's
yeah,
like,
2 hands.
yeah,
We'll
you
come
want me
around
to
the
come in
back.
from behind? I can put it in your mouth. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Disney, a family adventure.
Well, it's not even clever.
It
'cause-
was it was
wasn't.
so cringy. I guess that was
Yeah.
probably an ad lib. I think maybe on set that they thought was hilarious, and so they let it go a little longer. But that was like every other joke in the movie was great,
Yeah.
except for that one. Like that one didn't work for whatever reason. At least not for me.
And they let the scene go for too long.
That's what I was
If
saying.
you have one,
long.
one of those jokes in there, it's fine. But they just keep going with them.
So, he explains that he has this life. They do this flashback of him
Your
building.
brothers.
He built the fucking town because he's, immortal, essentially. Been around for 400 years and lived many, many lives. And, at this moment, they capture the brother because the brother was going off on the side with the tribe leader being rescued because, he's got a broken ankle. But they force him, the Germans capture him, force him to tell, them where she is. Because, the conquistadors can't go past a certain point. Emily Blunt at one point is saved by the jungle because they've gone too far. And so they use these bees, they fly these bees out, the bees go to the submarine, and then that's when the German
when
guy
he's
is
like,
like, where
tells
on
him
the
the
map?
intel.
And he's like talking, and the bee's like, and his crew is like, what the fuck is going on? And that's what the whole theater was like, but they were enjoying it like a motherfucker. All right, so
That's funny.
they find the location, but they think they got to go up. But he sees a crack in the rocks, and it looks like we've got to go down. So they go down, and they see this little cage, this little mechanism where you basically just pull a lever, and it will drain all the water. But she's terrified of swimming. He has to convince her to swim. Then this was a little bit cringy, in my opinion. It was like they force them to kiss so that they can get more air and stuff. And I was like, okay, I get what you're doing here. You're trying to set these two characters up to fall in love or whatever. But I was like, you're gonna like force them to kiss, and that's their first kiss. It's like,
Yeah.
it was just, I don't know, I don't like it. A little cringy.
So that worked for me. Their chemistry together, but not like the love stuff. I was
Like
like,
and so they
like,
were
I
more
liked
good
their
friends.
banter and stuff like that.
I guess it's The
Yeah.
Rock. I can't see The Rock in a
Yeah.
romantic,
I just
way
didn't
where
feel it on this one.
I didn't
It could have
feel it
been.
either.
It could have worked as like a will they, won't they kind of thing, where he
Yeah.
goes, like they eventually
would've
kind of
worked
end up
for me.
together, but like the whole
But no,
forcing
they go
together-
full on. They
Yeah,
try to go
and
full on.
It
and
wasn't
it just
good.
doesn't work.
This is also one of the most unbelievable. Like we already have conquistadors that are made out of snakes and bees and mud and trees, exactly like in Pirates of the Caribbean. Because
Yes,
remember, these
that's
people have
exactly
no
what I
imagination.
thought.
If you work for Disney, no imagination.
Yeah.
The most unbelievable thing is these ancient people have a lever that drains the entire cove of the Amazon, stops 4 waterfalls, and then everything sinks down like 40 feet. With,
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
think
that,
what- stop
Alex.
thinking about
But you're-
movie,
but
alright?
But you're right in that was that's dumb as fuck.
Like,
And then that's what Joe was saying. It's like I wanted more cool puzzles. That
Yeah.
was like a dumb as fuck puzzle.
Yeah,
It
they're
was
just like,
just-
all right,
Pull
we're
the
here,
lever.
pull lever.
I get what you're saying
And
now.
I was
we,
like, okay.
we did it.
I
It's
get
like-
what you're saying.
Yeah, I wanted some more like cool Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, put your hand in there. What's gonna happen? Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Well, they did that in
We
Scorpion
are
King.
going to die.
Yeah.
There was a scorpion in this, and it was actually a pretty decent CG scorpion.
Scorpion spider fight at the beginning of the film.
And I was
Yeah.
excited because like,
And then the fight in the bar with the cat. Even the cat was looking at the scorpion,
They were
and,
like, oh,
and,
oh.
and Tarantula wanted to get involved in the bar fight. That was
Yeah.
weird. Guess the CGI guys was like, "Hey man, look, I built these fucking things.
Yeah, we're gonna
use
use
them in some
spiders."
other scene."
you're gonna use them.
Anyways, so they make the water drain, and it turns out, oh shit, they revealed the submarine. He was waiting the whole time. Hi, your brother told me where you was, and he captures them, and they go in together, and he's like, look, you make this tree bloom. They see the tree, of course. There's no petals, and they're like, fuck.
Make it work.
Make it work. Make the tree bloom with your little key. And Emily goes first. It's The Rock says, if anybody's gonna do it, it's me because I'm tied to this kind of stuff.
But they don't know that yet.
They don't know that he's immortal.
But he
think the
says,
conquistadors
give me
would've told
one
him?
petal. Make me a deal. Give me one petal, and then he can't make it work. And so she's like, "I'll give me one petal, and I'll go." And he's like, "But I'm only gonna give one petal away." even though there's thousands of petals. But I'm
The
only
Rock
going to give
says,
one.
over my dead body.
And she's like, okay. And they kind of wink at each other. It's like, you can kill me, right?
Yeah, but that was a great point, though. It's like, hey, he found all these conquistadors, but hey, don't fall for that guy's trick. He's an asshole.
Hey, yeah, she's using the other conquistador.
Yeah.
You know, that guy that
You
we've been
would
killing
have
each
a
other
meat.
for 400 years.
Anyways, if you like mummy movies, then you'll like this one. But he sacrifices himself essentially the moonlight and everything happens, and then they realize that to mend a broken heart. But wait a minute, the heart. This isn't an arrow; it's a heart, and it's not broken. They break it. Aha! It's a little gem. They plug it in, and that was the only one. That was the only cool little little
Yeah.
exploration. Joe wanted more of that. Okay, so then the moonlight shines in, all the petals get revealed, but then as soon as the moonlight goes, because it's only like a few minutes, they start dying, and so then we get a little action scene of Emily running, trying to grab one petal before it dies, while the conquistadors show up, and there's chaos and fighting, and so The Rock basically takes a petal and tries to get the conquistadors to, follow him, and he sacrifices himself. Then he reveals, I didn't have the petal at all. You're all screwed, including me. And
he cut off the river.
Cut
and
off
then
the
there's
river.
No more
And if you're not by the
water.
river, yeah.
so then they all get trapped in, roots trying to be pulled to the river.
And it's eternal torture, by the way. There's like you don't understand. This is worse than death. We are going to be tortured for all eternity, and so he's willing to go through that for them.
Yeah, and but it turns out he actually gave the petal to her, and she's got the petal, but there's a sad scene because they say The Rock saved him, and they go over there, and he's all like in stone, and the cat's sad, and the music gets sad, and she decides, instead of science and helping millions of people, I'm instead gonna shove this flower in his mouth.
I don't know how it works.
'Cause
but
I
yeah,
love
just
him.
Take it.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. Eat it. Just Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's not how you do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lip cracks, but he doesn't revive quick enough. And you're like, okay, Disney. How many times have you done this?
They do
So
the-
she
the
turns around, walks off. It's a
You gotta
slow,
get that little slow
defeated
walk.
walk.
Then the cat's like, something's going on, but he doesn't say that. He's like, roar.
Right. So then then he's alive. And just as, he comes out of it and they're happy, another flower grows because happy ending, right?
Well, because the moon shines through a crack. We got to realize that this tree blooms every month.
Yeah, relax. It'll
It's
be
just like
fine.
everyone's like, we only have one left. It's like
the
we just
moon-
have to wait. Like
the moon will come back.
We got a jaguar. This dude's lived here for 400 years. We'll just set up camp. It'll be great.
Yeah, but no, they don't do that. They act like the whole thing is destroyed, and then they leave the whole place. They don't set up shop or anything. At some point during the movie, though, I got to mention that Emily Blunt breaks into his cabin and sees a bunch of, automobiles. He seems obsessed with automobiles. He's got his own life. She kind of realizes, oh, you knew about this whole thing this whole time, thinking that he was going to, betray or...
Because he's full of lies.
Right,
and
full
he's
of
gone.
lies. But it turns out he was the cartographer, on the expedition. That's why he had all those maps, because he fucking made all those maps. And he said, I used to draw a long time ago.
But I drew everything already.
Exactly. So, anyways, but they go back to the beginning scene where all those old dudes and their stupid fucking expedition shit that we saw before. What film was that in? Where there's like old dudes and they're all expedition and they won't let anybody be a part of their club and you're trying to impress them. I think it was another Disney movie. Was it Dumbo? No, it wasn't Dumbo. It was something else.
I don't remember.
All right, somebody help me out in the comments. Anyways, but they don't want to be a part of this little frat club, of old men, and they're like, instead, she's already become a professor, and she's using the flower and stuff, and we just wanted to show up to reject your letter and
Shove it up your
ass.
association.
Association, and he throws it at them. And,
Rabble. And the women are like, yeah.
Yay. Even though I'm
They're
not
up
even sure
top.
why they were there, because they wouldn't have even let them
That's the
there.
secretary's lounge.
Oh,
They said at the
yes.
very beginning that only
Yes.
women who can only be secretaries can be up
Excellent,
there.
excellent. So the secretaries are happy,
Yeah.
and then she leaves, and it's the Rock, and he gets to drive an automobile, and he's happy, and she's happy, and they're together. And they got the cat in the back, and so they're like a family now. Again, super happy ending, and the brother gets respect and kind of gets one up on the old guys, and that's it. And so you get a little happy ending. So like I said, self-contained story. whimsical, pulpy adventure, non-offensive family adventure. Good watch.
yeah.
Good watch. I mean, it's not as good as Pirates. It's not, it's not gonna be like that. But I think it's
Or the
better
Mummy.
than some of the crap.
It's
we've
better
seen.
than Mummy 3.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch that. Is that
I don't
the
remember
Chinese
the
one?
Mummy.
That's yeah. I don't know if
CGI
it's
Rock.
With the
No.
Jet Li. Has
That's
Jet Li, right?
Shit, I don't.
no.
fucking-
Mummy
that was
2 has
ah,
CGI Rock.
Oh God.
Really bad, really bad.
This
Some
one's
of the worst
probably on
CGI
par.
shit.
No, yeah, this one's on par with Mummy 2.
Yeah, I liked it, but all right. Well, that's it. Anything else?
Oh, we forgot to talk about Paul
Paul? Who's Paul?
and the soundtrack. Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, he's in it for
And
2
an
minutes.
odd choice for a song.
The Metallica is playing.
Metallica cover.
Oh, right.
I was like, wait
it was
a minute.
so well at the beginning you could notice it, but
Yeah.
they use it later on,
Yeah,
and it's
use
so
it again.
covered
I'm like-
with it's such an
It's like
awkward
the
one. I don't even
slow-mo.
notice
It's
it's
like, what do you-
Metallica.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this
What is
Sandman?
I don't know.
happening?
Who do you think that was that said, "Hey, we should
Let's
use
use Metallica.
Well, let's pay Metallica." They just really wanted to pay Metallica.
Yeah.
I don't.
It
fucking
just
know.
seems so out of place.
Hey, we're borrowing from 45 other things. Why not Metallica?
Yeah, that was
guess.
a weird song choice, in my opinion.
Right, because it was all more tribal, using the drums
Yeah.
and stuff. So you can't even really tell it. It was, well, I mean, you could tell, but it's just, it was like, I don't get it. I guess The Rock was like, I like Metallica. I don't know who. Somebody on the crew
Yeah.
was Metallica's brother. Say, hey, we're still relevant. Well, let's get paid in here.
Why
so
not?
you got that little soundtrack, little odd. It's but other than the Metallica thing, it's mostly Disney standard fare. You know, whimsical stuff. But yeah, solid acting, fun little romp. Yeah, so check it out. It's not necessarily one you need to go out to the theaters and see. I mean, if you got Disney Plus, this one's free. It's not on the stupid
Even
early
better.
access, right? Shit, I don't know. Better look that up. I don't think it's on the early access program. If it is, don't spend the $30 for this one. I would probably wait until it,
Yeah.
comes out on full release.
It's a wait for me.
In theaters and Disney Plus with Premiere Access.
Oh, it's a $30 one. Shit, man.
Is
I
Premiere
don't know.
Access $30?
Yeah, when they do the Premiere Access thing, that's like the Black Widow.
The
That's like the
Cruella
Mulan.
and stuff.
Shit, man. I don't know.
I'm on the fence on like if you got a bunch of people that want to watch an adventure movie or kids.
If
and
you're splitting
yeah.
the cost with somebody, sure, but
But if
don't.
it's just you, no.
Yeah, if you're buying yourself and you're like, do I spend $30 on?
just wait.
Watch it eventually.
Yeah.
Early showing.
Maybe
right?
watch
It's
Jumanji.
cheaper. That's a good one too.
Yeah, so we got another Disney movie, Encanto, in November, and then a bunch of 2022 stuff, which they really haven't revealed. 4 Disney live-action films. So I wonder what franchises are
Big
They're gonna
Thunder
mess it
Mountain
up.
starring The Rock.
Yeah,
and Kevin
I thought
Hart
it was
as
Space
the boulder.
Mountain, not Thunder Mountain.
It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, then The Rock will be the mountain, and then Kevin Hart will be the
Space.
asteroid.
So we'll see what other rides they can turn into full featured films with The Rock for the charismatic part of it. All right, bye guys, and thank you to our sponsors, Surfshark. If you click the links down below, it helps us out, helps yourself out, protect your security, and never let anybody tell you
They
what
got a
you
great
can and
deal,
can't
too.
watch. Right? Yeah, if your Disney Plus is blocked or any of these other streaming services, you can get around it. Thank you so much, Surfshark. Thank you to you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye guys.